Very good evening and welcome to the Buddhist Mahavihara Facebook page. Here at the Buddhist Mahavihara's Facebook pages, we have two pages, the Buddhist Mahavihara public page as well as the main page. Today we have with us a special guest, and this guest is a Bhante from Sri Lanka. This Bhante has been with us previously on the Dhammadana series. And today being the full moon day in September, called the Binara full moon, which is a special full moon commemorated by Buddhists all around the world. We have Bhante Professor Dr. M. Uparathana Thera, who will give us a special sermon on the significance of this poya as well as the sutta that's related to this full moon. I would now like to invite Bhante Professor Dr. Uparathana M. Uparathana Thera to our show. Welcome, Bhante. Welcome to Buddhist Mahavihara's live page.
Yeah, thank you.
And for those of you who have not met Bhante before, let me quickly read Bhante's profile. Dr. M. Uparathana Thera was ordained as a novice monk at the age of 12 at Sri Bodhi Rukkarama Mahavihara in Sri Lanka. He received his higher ordination at the age of 20 and has since devoted himself to the expansion and intellectual development of the Sangha community globally. He understood that to be a good global Dhamma teacher, he had to be fluent in a few languages. Took it upon himself to study English and Mandarin, and is now fluent in Sinhala, Pali, English, and Mandarin. Bhante is currently the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka, and had served in many other capacities at universities in Sri Lanka and also at the University of Wuhan in China. He has also been sought to present many research papers, full papers and abstracts at many local and international symposiums and conferences. So without much ado, I would now like to invite Bhante to start this evening sharing. Bhante?
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, dear friends in Dhamma. Welcome you all to listen this online Dhamma talk. And first of all, I would like to pay my sincere gratitude to Chief Incumbent of Buddhist Mahavihara in Malaysia for organizing this Dhammadana series. And I would like to pay my gratitude and sincere thanks to organizing committee members, especially Mr. Tilak Leslie, for inviting me to do this online Dhamma talk. So today my Dhamma talk is based on a very important topic. So as we are Buddhists, so we practice this in our day-to-day life. So my topic of Dhamma talk is the significance of transferring merits to departed. I think all the Buddhist people know this about this, but today we discuss something more, especially what is the significance of transferring merits and how we transfer merit for our departed ones. In this connection, I would like to pay my attention especially Tirokudda Sutta. You know, Tirokudda Sutta is the one of the short sutta delivered by Buddha. So this Tirokudda Sutta is mentioned in the Kuddhaka part of Kuddhaka Nikaya of Sutta Pitaka. So this is very small and very short sutra, but it is one of the most significant sutta of Sutta Pitaka. In Buddhism, you know, there are 10 meritorious actions. So these we call the Dasa Punya Kriya Vattuni. There are 10 meritorious actions we can practice or practice by a person. So these 10 meritorious actions we can divide into 3 bases. Okay. So the generosity, so that we say the dana, and the virtue, sila, and the mental development, bhavana. So these three bases, especially we practice in our day-to-day life. So these meritorious actions may be performed in various ways. So those ways we can say, we can show, we can call as dasa punya kriya vattuni. So, so those 10 meritorious actions are dana. I think all the Buddhist people in the world, they practice dana or giving or charity or generosity. And the sila also, all the Buddhist people practice the virtue of morality. And the bhavana, especially we practice in our day-to-day life, the mental culture of meditation. And the fourth one is apachayana, the reverence or the act of respect. And the vayavaccha, the rendering help. And the patidana, transference of merit, sharing merits with others. And the pattanumodana, rejoicing in an appreciation of merits of others. And the eighth one is Dhamma Savana, listening to the Dhamma. And the Dhamma Desana, teaching the Dhamma. And the last one is Dittiju Kamma, explaining one's views, especially the forming correct views and establishing right understanding. So these 10 meritorious actions, these 10 meritorious deeds, we practice in our day-to-day life. So among these 10 meritorious actions or meritorious deeds, today for our Dhamma talk, I would like to pay my attention to the sixth one, that is Patidana, or sharing merits to departed ones. The transferring merits also one of the meritorious action. Okay, so we can practice 10 meritorious deeds or 10 meritorious actions. Among these 10, the sixth one is Patidana. The Patidana also one of the meritorious deeds, one of the meritorious action. Transferring merit also one of the merit, like that. Okay, so the sharing merits. So that we can use the Pali word is Patidana. And I would like to say this word in Chinese. So you can, I think all the people in Malaysia, they know the Huishang. So Huishang means the transferring merits. Okay, so people can do good things, and the result or the result can transfer to others. So that is called Huishang. And as we are Buddhist, it is our usual part of Buddhist spiritual discipline. And the resulting good deeds to deceased relatives and to our deities and to all sentient beings. So we transfer merits for all these sentient beings, right? So today, in this Dhamma sermon, I would like to discuss several subtopics. The why we practice this spiritual discipline, and how we commemorate our departed relatives, and whether we whether the departed ones can receive the merits or not, and if not, what will happen to our meritorious deeds or merits. And the Tirokudda Sutta in relationship transferring merits, so the relationship of the Tirokudda Sutta of transferring merits, and what is the significance of transferring merits for departed ones. So I would like to pay your attention for these subtopics in my Dhamma discussion, right? So the transferring of merits is done mentally. Okay, so we can ask a question how we transfer merits to others. Okay, so when we live we live together with other people, when they are living, we can give something for living beings. We can give dana, we can give anything whatever we like. But after someone died, after the death, okay, so we can give anything to anyone by hand by hand. So therefore, we have to transfer the merits to others or departed ones through our mind or the mentally, and it is believed that the recipient can often receive this merit. Okay, if they rejoice in the meritorious acts of the person transferring, in Buddhism, merit transfer is seen as the better alternative than mourning. Okay, so we sometimes after one died, after the death of our relatives, we cry, but according to Buddhism, it is useless. Therefore, the better thing is to transfer merit for our departed ones. So the second question is why we practice this spiritual discipline. That means the transferring merits to others. The why we practice this one. Okay, so almost all the Buddhist people, we believe that we should perform some meritorious deeds during our lifetime, because we have to the better rebirth. Okay, according to Buddhism, everything is impermanent. Okay, and all the sentient beings are subject to death, and it is mentioned in the Kosala Sanyutta, the Sanyutta Nikaya Kosala Sanyutta Ayyaka Sutta. There is one the beautiful story, but in this time I don't have to explain the story. The one day the King Kosal went to the Buddha and asked a question about the death, about the unhappiness. So the Buddha explained the incident to King Kosala. The Buddha mentioned the sabbe satta marisanti maranantanhi jivitang yata kammang gamisanti punya papa palupaga nirayang papa kammanta punya kammata suggating tasma karaya kalyanang nityang samprayikang punyani paralokasmin patitta honti paninang. The meaning of this stanza is sabbe satta marisanti maranantanhi jivitam. All beings die, and the death is the end of the life. The yata kammang gamisanti punya papa palupaga, and they go according to their actions as merit and demerit bear fruit. Nirayang papa kammanta punya kammata suggating. Doing demerit, they go to the hell, and doing merit, they go to the heaven. Tasma hariya kalyanang nityang samprayakang, therefore do good, accumulating for the other world. Punyani paralokasming patitta honti paninang. This is the most important thing, more part of this sutta. Merit establishes being in the next world. So, according to Buddhism, we accept, we believe everything is impermanent, and that we can't live forever in this world, and we have to die. But after our death, we will be reborn in again. We will go to another the bhava, like that. Therefore, so we have to do meritorious deeds, good action, because we need the good rebirth, like that. So in this connection, when we talk about the rebirth and death, so in this connection, there are two most important words. Okay, the Chuti Chitta and Patisanti Vijnana. So in this connection, the rebirth is Chuti Chitta and Patisanti Vijnana are the most important. So what is Chuti Chitta? The Chuti Chitta means the death consciousness, or the last moment of the life. And according to the medieval commentaries, it is the final moment of consciousness is an individual's life, and is followed immediately by the first moment of the consciousness at conception. That is the Patisanti Vijnana. Okay, the last moment of this life is the Chuti Chitta, and the first moment of the consciousness of the conception, that is called Patisanti Vijnana. Okay, so in the new appearance. So therefore, so you can understand. So after our death, after the end of this life, we go to the new appearance. So that new appearance, based on the Chuti Chitta, or the Patisanti Vijnana based on the Chuti Chitta. So if anyone do an akusala karma, okay, at the end of the life, or the Chuti Chitta, okay, so when they are die, the mind also memorize about the akusala karma, so he will be born in the unhappy rebirth. Okay, when he die, so he memorized the kusala karma, he will be born in the happy state. That means the Chuti Chitta is good, and the Patisanti Vijnana is good, and the Chuti Chitta is bad, the Patisanti Vijnana also bad. Therefore, the knowledge of the death and the rebirth, so no one can explain, no one can forecast what will happen after die. Okay, if anyone has the Chutupapatha, the Chutupapatha means the knowledge of the vanishing and reappearing of beings. So that is identical with the divine eye. So if someone has the Chutupapatanyana, he can say, he can explain after the death what will happen to a person, where he was, where he will be born. Like that, he can explain. But as we are ordinary people, we can't understand that. Okay, especially we know at the end of this life, after the death, the Samma Sambuddha, Pacceka Sambuddha, and Arahant. So those they will not be reborn. They will not be born again. There is no rebirth for them. On the other hand, the Sotapanna person is a stream enterer, and the one returner and the non-returner. So these three persons also, after they are dead, they will be born in the Brahma world. Okay, but the Samma Sambuddha, Pacceka Buddha, Arahant, and the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Anagami, they have no problem, because they have definitely the Samma Sambuddha and others, they will end their life, and others definitely they will be born in the heaven or the Brahma world. And if someone have the highest knowledge, highest consciousness, so that they also will be born in the heaven. But if we die as an ordinary person, without any higher knowledge, without being or Sotapanno, Sakadagami, or Anagami, so we can't say, we don't understand, so what will happen, where we will be born after our death. That is the problem. So that is why we have to the practice this, the transferring merits. You know, after our death, there are 5 places we can be born. Okay, so there are 5 places. Those are called Panchagati, the suffering state. So we say the Niraya, the animal womb, the Tirachanyoni, and the realm of the departed, the Pettivisaya, and the human world, Manusya, and the God, the heaven. So these 5 places we will be born after our death. But no one can forecast where we'll be born. Okay, but in the final moment, or the Trutichitta is Trutichitta is good, so we will be born in the happy place. But the Trutichitta is bad, we will be born in the bad place. That is why. So we should practice this transferring of merit for our departed ones, right? So my next question is how we commemorate our departed relatives. Okay, so you know, in the ancient India, there were the many practices are useless and meaningless practices to respect and to commemorate their the departed ones, right? So sometimes they respect their ancestors, and then sometimes they yearn for the gods, and sometimes they put some food for the to the fire, and the animal, the sacrificing, such kind of things they did to the commemorate and to respect for the departed ones. But the Buddha explained, so such kind of things are very meaningless and useless. Therefore, the Buddha introduced the very important thing, very important practice. Okay, how we commemorated our departed relatives like that. So the Buddhist ritual of sharing of merits was the first established with the story of King Bimbisara, right? So there is a very beautiful story related to the Tirokudda Sutta, so I will explain it later. So this transferring merits started with the story of King Bimbisara. So that we can only share merits with the living beings. Okay, so that is the most important thing we should understand, but not with the departed animals. We can share merits with the living beings. Then they can rejoice with the other people. But when we transfer merits, we have to transfer merit for the departed one. So the Buddha reminded us not to forget to invite and share merits with the devas after we have performed some religious services. From the Buddhist point of view, devas can help us in certain ways. In return, the devas will feel happy, and they will protect us. So that we can share merits with other human beings also. So those who share the merits will express their joy and knowing the such merits have been performed and they are able to share with them. So, after doing some meritorious actions, we always memorize our devas and divine beings, and we transfer merits. Not only divine beings, for all beings, we transfer merits. So we say the etta vata chammehi sambhatam punya sampadam. The sabbe deva anumodantu, sabbe bhuta anumodantu, the sabbe sat anumodantu, sabba sampasiddhya, like that. So we wish may all devas and may all bhuta and may all beings share this merit which we have thus acquired. So may it continue greatly the happiness like that we wish, and we transfer merit for others. That is our normal life when we do some meritorious actions. Okay, so now I would like to pay your attention how we transfer merits to others. The transfer of merits. Okay, so we can accumulate some merits and then transfer the merits to these unhappy beings. Okay, especially we transfer merits for unhappy beings. If they are born in the happy places, they don't need merits. But we transfer merits for unhappy beings. So then, so that we can help them to get rid of their sufferings. So there are beings who have not accumulated enough good karma during their lifetime, and after they die, so they will be born in the miserable state. So there is not enough energy to help them to continue their journey. Therefore, we can help our relatives and friends in many ways while they are living in this world. But after they die, so we can only transfer merits for the departed relatives, the friends and people that we know. So, first of all, we have to perform some religious activities. Then we can transfer merits for them. In the case of animal, we can only radiate metta on them to help them to reduce their sufferings. And when we transfer merits, normally we chant, that is mentioned in the Tirokudda Sutta, idam me nyati nang hotu, sukita hontu nyato, like that. We say when we transfer merits, we chant this small stanza. So we say that let this merit for our relatives. And may relatives be happy like that. We say, then if there is anyone, if there is anyone want to have merits, so they will be rejoiced by the transferring merits. So by hearing such kind of stanza, right? Now you can understand. So how we do the meritorious deeds, the meritorious things, and why we transfer merits like that. So you can understand. Now I would like to pay your attention, especially to the Tirokudda Sutta. That is our topic today. And the transferring merits also related to Tirokudda Sutta, so delivered by Buddha to King Bimbisara. And first of all, we should understand the background of the Tirokudda Sutta. Okay, so our Buddha met the King Bimbisara. Okay, after that he delivered this sutta in one occasion. So the Buddhist ritual of the sharing of merit was the first, especially established with the story of King Bimbisara, right? So the Buddha, the Buddha visited Rajagaha long after his enlightenment on the invitation of King Bimbisara, and he invited our Bodhisattva after his enlightenment to visit his kingdom. Therefore, our Buddha didn't forget his invitation, and he went to meet King Bimbisara. The king invited the Buddha to a meal in the palace the following day. During the almsgiving, during the almsgiving ceremony, the departed next of the king of Bimbisara stood outside the wall of the palace. So they thought the king will dedicate the merits for the almsgiving to them. But what happened? After almsgiving, King Bimbisara did not dedicated the merits to his departed next king of the Petas. Okay, so instead of that, his mind was thinking about where and how he built Vihar to the Buddha like that. Then what happened? So the relatives, his King Petas, they were very disappointed. They were very upset, and because of that upset, they did a dreadful cry and wailing outside the palace walls in the midnight. Then what happened? The king Bimbisara was the frightened. Okay, he was very frightened. Then early in the morning he went to meet the Buddha and he informed. He said the Buddha what happened in the midnight to him, and he asked, "Is there any danger to his kingdom, or is there any danger to his family like that?" Then the Buddha saw the whole story in his divine eye. In his divine eye, he saw all these stories. And the Buddha explained the king that his former relatives have been reborn and existing petas, or the petas here it is translated in English as the hungry ghost. Okay, so they were have been in as the petas, hungry ghost, for a very long time, very long period, and they expected to be released from their suffering during King Bimbisara's time. Okay, so the Buddha explained very clearly who are these kings, who are these relatives. Okay, so these Petas had been laborers in the time of the Pussa Buddha, right? So they were entrusted with the task of distributing alms to the Buddha and bhikkhus, and they neglected their duties and kept some gift for themselves. They didn't offer to the Buddha, right? Because of this bad action, as a result of that bad action, they suffered for a long period. It is mentioned 9 to 2 kappas. Okay, the kappa means very long period. It is the countable, uncountable period. Okay, in the apaya, or in the hell. Okay, as Petas in this time, the Kassapa Buddha told them they had to wait until the time the Gautama Buddha come. Okay, so they because of that reason. Okay, so they suffered a long period. Now the time has come. The king Bimbisara had once been their kinsman. Okay, so they would gather merits by offering alms to the Gautama Buddha on behalf of them like that. So the Kassapa Buddha explained. So the Buddha mentioned, so those Petas came because now they need merit, because they want to release from the Petaloka. That is why they came to his relative. They want to release from the Petaloka. That is why they came to like that. So the Buddha explained. Now you can understand the story. Okay, this practice of transferring merit started in among the Buddhists. Okay, now it is a tradition everywhere in the world. It is a tradition everywhere in the world. Everywhere we practice. Therefore, the transferring merits is very useful for relatives, for departed ones. Okay, now I would like to explain something about Tirokudda Sutta. The several instances, I think the many Buddhist people they don't know actually where these instances are mentioned. Okay, so always we recite to transfer merits, but we don't know actually where is the Tirokudda Sutta, and what is mentioned, what is included in Tirokudda Sutta like that. Our Buddhist people, they don't know. Therefore, I would like to pay attention something about, not all. I would like to say some several instances and translate and explain something in brief. Okay, so the very beginning of the Tirokudda Sutta is mentioned. Tirokuddesu titthanti sandhi singhata kesuche dwara bahas titthanti agantwana sakangarang. Many people ask where these hungry ghosts are, where they are living like that. We have lot of questions. We don't know where are they living. Okay, these hungry ghosts are, where are they? Like that, we have a big questions, a lot of questions, right? So those who reborn as unfortunate spirits, the meaning is this stanza, because of their selfish craving for their property in a past life, return to their homes and create an earth atmosphere while lingering beyond the doors. You know who will be born as the hungry ghost? Those who have the selfish craving for their property in their past life. After that, they will be born as the hungry ghost. Okay, if we have the craving for our property, okay, we also will be born as the hungry ghost. That is the very big matter we should understand. So the according to our Buddhism, there are, there are 31 planes of existence. Okay, so the Kamaloka and the Rupaloka and the Arupaloka. So these the Kamaloka, there are 11 Kamaloka. There are 6 Deva worlds, and one in the human world, and there are 4 Dugati. Those are called 4 Dugati. There are 7 Sugatis, and there are 4 Dugatis. Okay, so those hungry ghosts are born these places, especially the Apaya, the woeful realm, and the Tirachanyoni, animal world, and the Asura, demon world, and the Niraya, or the hell, or the hell, like that. So these another place is the Peta, hungry ghost, right? So all these places are, we say, the unhappy status, unhappy places. They have nothing to do. They can't do anything in that realms. Okay, they are they have to lead unhappy life, the very miserable life. Therefore, we say, so they are hungry ghosts like that. Okay, so according to normal, our belief is they have the very small hands, and they have very big head, and they have very big belly, and they have very small legs. Okay, they are always in hungry. Okay, whatever. Sometimes they have nothing to eat, nothing to eat. Sometimes they eat the saliva of the human beings, but whatever they eat, the always they are hungry. No, they are belly they fill with the foods like that. So they lead a very miserable life. That it is our traditional belief. Okay, so because of this reason, right? They have to suffer a lot, suffer a long period. The long period they have to suffer, but the relatives sometimes they transfer marriage for them also, but they can't rejoice because they are in the miserable place. Okay, if there is any person who won't marry to release from that place, so then we can transfer marriage. Okay, that is the nature of transfer marriage, right? So now you can understand. So I explained the one stanza of the Tirokudda Sutta, right? So the hungry ghosts, they are living in the normally the junctions and out of the wall. So like that they are living. Okay, junction and out of the wall of the house they are living. So those are the places they live. So the second stanza they mention in the Tirokudda Sutta is Pahute Annapanam hi Khajya Buddhi Upattite Natesam Koti Sarati Sattanam Kamapatya. The meaning of this stanza is they desire for human food. Okay, these hungry ghosts desire for human food, but because of their past action, past karma, their living relatives neglect to make offering to them. Okay, so if we simplify this, the meaning of this stanza, the living relatives have prepared a splendid or delicious food, but they have not invited the departed to enter their dwellings to partake in the food. So this is due to the past, the bad actions of the departed ones. They can only gather outside at the road corners, compounds, doors, and windows, but not inside their house. Okay, the many people think the hungry ghost those pretas come into the house. They reside inside the house. But it is very clearly mentioned in this sutta, they can't enter into the house. Okay, they are living in the outside the wall, outside the road of the corners and the compounds, doors and windows. They are living, but they can't. They can't inside the house, right? Evang dadanti nyatinang yohonti anukampaka sucing panitang kalena kapiyang panabhojanam. So according to this stanza, those the people who have compassion for the deceased should actually remember their departed relatives. They prepare suitable food and dedicate them to the departed souls. After the alms are offered to the Sangha, all the meritorious deeds are then transferred to the departed. What is offered will reach the departed. Okay, so the compassionate people, they can offer, they can transfer merits, but the hungry ghost, if they want, they can rejoice. Okay, they can rejoice by the meritorious actions. Okay, so the fourth one is idammo nyati nang hotu sugita huntu nyatyo techa tatta samagantva nyati peta samagata. Always we recite this one. Now you can understand where this stanza is mentioned. Okay, so it is in the Tirokudda Sutta. And we said Yathavari Vahapura Paripurinti Sagaram Eva Meva Itodinnam Petana Upakappati Unname Udakang Vatang Yataninnam Pavatati Eva Meva Itodinnam Petana Upakapati, like that. So we say, okay, so the after we transferring merits, okay, so if they rejoice, if they release from their unhappy state, so they will they will wish us, may our relatives live long, on whose account we gain like that, we gain this like that. After they achieving the happy state, so they the wish for their relatives, our relatives also be happy like that, and they will live long like that. Okay, so according to time passing, I don't like to explain all the stanzas. Then I would like to pay attention for this one. Okay, so it is especially this thing we have to pay attention as we are Buddhists. Okay, after someone die, after the death, after the death of a relative, it is useless the weeping, the lamenting, and the feeling sorrowful, and the performing all sort of rituals. For such actions will not be benefited for dead people. Okay, therefore, the some people are, the some people are wasting the time and money on meaningless ceremonies and the performance of memory of the departed ones. So these people do not realize that it is impossible to help for the departed ones. Therefore, you should remember, okay, the lamenting and is useless, and the feeling sorrowful is also useless, and doing other things also useless. Therefore, what is useful for the departed ones, the doing meritorious things. Okay, sometimes after someone die, they build big graveyards and the tombs and the paper houses and the many things they do. They burn in the just sticks, also useless, just papers. Okay, so in the China and China and Malaysia, Singapore, and so you also commemorate or your departed ones, the Chingminji, and we also do some things. Okay, so we offer foods like that. It is very good. Okay, but not offering for them, but if we can offer food for others, and we can achieve, we can accumulate merits, and we can transfer that those merits to our departed ones. That is useful for the departed ones, but not other things are very useless and meaningless. Burning their clothes, burning food, like that. These things are very useful, very useless for departed ones. Therefore, Buddhists should act wisely. Okay, this is the most important thing we have to understand. Okay, so we have not follow, we should not follow anything blindly. So the meaning of Buddhist is wise understanding. So therefore we have to do everything by understanding. Okay, so while others pray to the gods, okay, only Buddhist people do these things. All the other religions, they pray for gods, for the departed ones. That is useless things. Therefore, Buddhists radiate their loving kindness directly to them. And if we really want to honor and help our departed ones, then we have to do some meritorious deeds, meritorious things. Okay, so we can practice giving alms to others, and we can build schools, and we can build temples, and we can build hospitals, and we can print books, free distribution. I think especially our devotees in Buddhist Mahavihara, they are practicing this one. They print lot of number of hundreds of books for free distribution. Okay, so whatever these good things we can do. Okay, so all these things are, we say, the meritorious deeds and meritorious actions. Okay, if we practice these things, we can transfer merit for our departed ones. Okay, so if someone can say, what happened if they can't rejoice the merits? We transfer merits, but they don't rejoice the merits. Then what will happen to our merits? Okay, so according to Buddhism, I will explain a small story in brief. Okay, so there are several relatives living far. Okay, so they inform you, we are coming next day to your house. Then what we do? So we prepare to welcome them. Okay, we prepare delicious food for them. But immediately they send a message. So okay, we are very sorry, we can't come on that day. Then what will happen? Do you throw away the delicious food? No, we enjoy the food. We eat the food like that. Okay, if our relatives don't come, don't accept our merit, okay, so we can enjoy, because we need merit, because we also be born again and again. We are sojourning in the samsara. Therefore, whether our departed ones, our kings, whether they accept or not, okay, so we need merit. Therefore, we always should do meritorious things in our life. Okay, so that is the thing we should understand. That is the most important thing, transferring merits for our departed ones.
Thank you, Bhante. There's still a
Yeah.
little bit of time. If you want to carry on, we can have another 5 minutes if you want.
Yes, yes. If there's any question, they can ask and I can explain.
Yeah. Okay. There is a couple of questions, but I think you've already mentioned it. But okay, here's a new good question, Bhante.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. The pet also one being. Okay. That is the thing we should understand. He also have the mind, and after they die, they will be born in another place. Therefore, not only pets, all the beings we can transfer merits. Not only human being, anyone can, we can. Actually, that is why I told you the Ching Minji. Okay, so they believe they comes to this world like that. Okay, that is what we say. According to Tirokudda Sutta, the king Bimbisara's, the king, the relatives, they were very long ago, the 9 to 2 kappas. Okay, but after 9 to 2 kappas, they came to King Bimbisara, right? So they wanted, they now they have the time to release from their the misery realms. Okay, so You know, we as we are Buddhist people, we practice meritorious deeds after death, after 7 days, after 3 months, after 1 year. Yearly we practice this one. Okay, the Chinese belief also. So our relatives come to earth or once every year like that. We believe, but at that time, we should do meritorious deeds, meritorious actions, and it is better to transfer merit for them. Okay, according to Tirokudda Sutta, it is mentioned. Okay, our departed ones, they also like to have delicious food what we prepare, but unfortunately, we forget them. But if we have the compassionate, okay, if we have the kindness, loving kindness for our relatives, we prepare foods and offer for them. Okay, that means if there is any being who wish to have our food, we can offer for them. Okay, I think the Chinese peoples, that idea also not against the Buddhism. It is one part of our action.
There's another question, Bhante, but I think you've already also covered that in when you explained the Tirokudda Sutta just now.
Not, it is not waste. I told you in finally I explained a very small story. Okay. Duratova samaganchi piyang nyatim agata nyatimitta suhajja abhinandanti agata. Okay, so we have relatives, they are living very far. Okay, so they give a call. Okay, telephone call they give. Tomorrow we are coming to your house. Okay, then what do you do? You prepare to welcome them. Okay, you prepare delicious food, you clean your house like that. Okay, but immediately they will call tomorrow. Okay, we are very sorry, today we can't come. Then what happened? The delicious food, do we throw away? No, we have the food, we rejoice, we enjoy the food. Okay, our house is also very clean, right? Like that, our meritorious action, meritorious deeds, we transfer, but they can't accept because they no need, sometimes they no need, but sometimes they can't. At that time everything belongs to us. Okay, we enjoy the merit. Okay, after our death we also have to go to the next world, next birth. Okay, when we go there, when we go to that world, when we rebirth, so that merit accept like our relatives, it is useful for us.
Bhante, I have a personal question.
Yeah.
Um, well, when someone is born in a Peta realm, or the lesser realms, they are there because of their unwholesome actions, right? That's
Yes.
why they are born in a bad state. Now it's like a prison sentence. Now, if you're sentenced to say a life sentence, you cannot come out of prison until you finish your sentence or you die in prison. Now, isn't it the same for somebody who has now gone to the Peta realm or any of the unwholesome realms, that they have to serve their term like a prison sentence? So even if
Yes.
you send them, merits, make them happy or whatever it is, that the people who are alive transfer the merits to them, they are
Yes.
still kind of serving a prison sentence, aren't they?
So
Can they cut short their prison sentence?
The wife of King Kosala, okay, the wife of King Kosala, after her death, she was born in hell, in the hell, okay, only for 7 days, only for 7 days. Then she released from that hell, like that. Okay, if there is anyone the life sentenced, okay, but immediately he can release from that because he has done bad action in his life, but he has done something good in his past life. Okay, so there are the karma, so the four ways. Okay, how we call Dittadhamma Vedaniya, Upapajya Vedaniya, Aparaparya Vedaniya, and Ahosikam. Ditta Dhamma Vedini means so we have to reap the result in this life. Okay, Apara Parivedini next life. The Upapajya Vedini next life. Apara Parivedini means time by time, time by time. Sometimes when we are happy, it will become unhappy. Sometimes we are unhappy, immediately we will become happy. Okay, the sentence also the same. Okay, sometimes we are life sentenced, but immediately we can release like that. Come also the time by time the we can achieve we can reap the result of our past actions. Is it clear?
Yes, yes, it is. Thank you, Bhante. I understand what you're trying to say. I think that's all the questions we have today. Yeah. So those are all the questions we have today. So
Yes.
we have actually come to the end of this evening's sermon. I think it was a very excellent sharing. I really enjoyed and benefited from today's sermon. So I think it's time now to transfer the merits to the
Yes.
Deva as well as to the dearly departed, to all our relatives and friends, and all the devotees of Buddhist Mahavira who had served the Buddhist Mahavira over the many years. Bhante, would you like to please do the Anumodana?
Okay, okay. I would like to transfer merits to Devas because always they protect us and help us, and they will be rejoiced in their life. And finally, the Devas will enter into Nibbana. And I would like to transfer merits to our departed ones, and especially I would like to rejoice the merits to our chief incumbent, most venerable Nayaka Thera of Buddhist Mahavihara, and especially you, Mr. Pilak Leslie, and all the committee members and all the friends and devotees. So I would like to wish that may you all have healthy and wealthy life. So finally, at the end of this samsara, so may you all enter into final bliss of Nibbana. So I would like to bless you. Bhavata Sabda Mangalam, Rakhantu Sabda Devata, Sabda Buddhan Bhavena, Sabda Dhamman Bhavena, Sabda Sanghan Bhavena, Sada Sutti Bhavantite. Again, Suti Hotu. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. So on behalf of the Committee of Management of the Buddhist Mahavihara, as well as the sponsors for this evening's Dhamma talk, and also to all the listeners this evening here at the BMV Facebook page, live page.
Yeah.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you, Bhante, for your time and obliging us with your knowledge. We look forward to more such sharings in the near future. So, for each and every one of you, and including Bhante, have a pleasant evening. Good night, Sadhu.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.